have the SYMRISE presentation. SYMRISE is our emerald sponsor for this year's conference, and we're truly grateful for this company, SYMRISE, for always coming through, because they really understand what NICOS stands for. And and they're always there to support in terms of what we do. So today we're having the in-person presentation, and she's going to be talking about sneak peep into cooling systems and multinationals. So I will just get, her name is Abolaji Akinyera. I will just read out a short bio for Abolaji. So Abolaji Akinyera is a key account manager, Saint and Care Division for SYMRISE, a globally renowned manufacturer of fragrances, flavor, and cosmetic ingredients, and amongst other specialty products, with headquarters in Germany and applicable labs and offices around the world, including Lagos, Nigeria. Abolaji is a known voice in the industry and has been involved in terms of development of many successful and striving home and personal care products over the last 25 years. She's a graduate of the prestigious University of Ibadan with a discipline in microbiology and a master degree in business admin with a specialty in marketing management. She's a member of NICOS and a member of other societies as well. Please make a warm welcome for Abolaji Akinyera. Thank you.
I think it's safe to say good afternoon, everybody. Are you feeling cold like me? I think somebody pointed out that we leper people, we really don't have much adipose tissue. I don't think I have any iota of fat in my body. Of course I do. Thank you so very much. It's a pleasure to have everyone here this afternoon. Thank you for coming. My job is simple. It's easier than the task of all those professors. I'm not an academic by any chance. I'm a salesperson, and I've done some foray into the cosmetic industry. I have a diploma in cosmetic science from COSCEM, and it's an interesting industry. I've moved from selling fragrance into selling cosmetic ingredients, and I just enjoy this industry. Please put your hands together if you are in the beauty industry, especially if you're a manufacturer and you are still manufacturing. Kudos to you guys. We appreciate you. So I work for SYMRISE. We're domiciled mainly in Germany, but we sell out of about 100 countries right now. And then we have an office here in Nigeria. And I happen to be with my colleagues. They're colleagues from SYMRISE here. Please, if you're from SYMRISE, just wave your hands. Yabo Bode Kemi, thank you for coming. And of course, my darling sister here, Vivian. We're going to have a sneak peek. I call it a sneak peek because it's not something even I can really dissect thoroughly into cooling systems in the body and multifunctionals. Where a lot of us are familiar with menthol. When you're talking about cooling systems, you're familiar with menthol. And a lot of us know that there's a menthol liquid, menthol crystals. But we, SYMRISE, I don't know, is, if you know, we're the biggest suppliers of menthol. So we're not killing menthol here. We're not here to say menthol is not good, because we are the biggest sellers of menthol. And we use menthol in a lot of our ingredients, including oral care, toothpaste and all that. But what we're saying is that we've developed another range of products. We found out that there's another range of products called the Friscolats, and that these can also serve your purpose in cosmetic applications. So we're going to look at the difference or compare briefly, a sneak peek, I said, remember, between menthol and the Friscolat range. We're going to look at into the modulation of skin thermoreceptors, the product features of the Friscolats, the human microbiome, especially at the request of our president. We're talking about the multifunctionals. Somehow we'll marry them because we're talking about safety of the skin and how to formulate for the skin. And we're now going to check what the consumers desire and try and suggest formulations briefly. Now, we are a very consumer-focused company, and based on our research, we've discovered that consumers relate freshness to the following. They relate it to well-being, cooling down and well-being. They say a refreshing sensation can fight overheating and enhance my confidence and well-being. They also relate freshness to a relief solution. A cooling sensation is able to distract the brain from a skin irritation and an unpleasant signal. Consumers have also told us from our research that freshness is associated with cleanliness and detox feeling. Freshness is described as a way to improve cleanliness feeling and boost the detox sensation and energy level. Finally, they see it as a sensorial signal. Freshness can improve the feeling that the product applied or application or texture is working, and it boosts the sensory experience of the texture. A lot of us will agree that when you use a hair cream that contains some cooling agent, maybe menthol or something, you feel it is working. It gives you that sensation that it is working. That is what we're saying here. Now, like I said, we're not here to kill menthol. We're just trying to say, let's look at something else. So what are the differences between menthol and friscolat? From the basic menthol to the upgraded menthol derivatives, which is what the friscolat is, they are derivatives of menthol. You can see that we have crystalline issues at alkaline pH with menthol. On the other hand, the friscolite range is suitable to pH ranges right from the lower ones. You have some very effective already at pH 3, and they are extending even up to 12, depending on which variant you want to use. There's no flexibility in terms of freshness and intensity when it comes to menthol. Rather, on the other hand, when it comes to the friscolat range, you have a strong and long-lasting freshness. When you're talking about the menthol, you have a very strong mint flavor. Nobody can dispute that. But that is difficult to cover when you're talking of some cosmetic applications. You're talking of maybe putting a fragrance in a cream or in a lotion, and it has a strong, or even a hair care product, and it is so overpowering, and you're wondering, how do I handle that? Whilst you still want to have that freshness impact. And then finally, you talk about the very intense freshness that can appear irritating. There's some products you pick up and the freshness is so intense, you're like, ouch, it's appalling, sort of. And that is what you get from menthol, because it is really so, it's so intense and you can't do anything about it. Whilst in the friscolat range, you find that you have efficient and safe freshness and cooling. So we go to the next stage, and that is modulating the skin thermoreceptors. That is where some of my scientific academic people would be interested. The cooling system is based on a neurosensory mechanism. My sisters, interesting, they've been sisters all along. My sisters here prior to me, the learned people, have brought up the slides about the skin, the cross-section of the skin. Of course, we know we have the epidermis, the dermis, the hypodermis, and all that. The friscolat is a chemical stimulus that activates the TRPM8 receptor in the skin layer. That is what sends a signal to the brain that there's a cooling effect happening. The friscolat is a chemical stimulus that sends that message to the nerves, and the nerves, of course, communicates it to the brain, and that lets you know that, oh, there's a cooling system, there's a cooling effect happening around here. There's a TRPM 1 that does the same for heating. No, but for the cooling, it is the 8. So that is what the friscolat does exactly. Now, I'm a salesperson. I'm going to delve now into the friscolat range and let you see why we believe that the friscolat range will be something that you'd find interesting for your cosmetic applications. There are about 7 members in this range as at today. I say that because SYMRISE is a very innovative company, and we're always delving into deeper depths, and we're always inspiring more. We have 3 of them. As I said, they're all menthol derivatives. From the inky, you can see that the methyl lactate are 3 versions here. The first one, the friscolat ML, is a solid, and it can also have the ML is a solid. The friscolat ML crystal is the crystal form of that same solid. So they are more or less the same thing, only that one is a solid, whilst the other one is a crystal. The friscolat ML natural is the natural form of that methyl lactate. So for my friends who are into natural, this might be of interest to you. It is EcoSat and Cosmos approved. It is odorless and it is solid in form. So when you're looking at the range, you go from the low intensity to the higher intensity in terms of effect in the Friscolat range. You come to the Friscolat MGA. This is ideal for pH higher than 6.5. The others are from the pH from 3. So you find out for the MGA, which is the liquid, it is odorless. It is strong, it gives a strong and long-lasting cooling effect. And the ink is the menthol glycerin acetate. I don't know why the slide does not show that. After the MGA is the MGA plus, which means that there's an added advantage. The only difference between the MGA and the MGA plus is the fact that there's there's an input or an addition of your L-menthol into the Friscolat ML. That means you have your menthol glycerin acetate, and then you have the L-menthol added to that. That gives you some cost efficiency whilst giving you strong pulling effect, even in bar soaps. It is not irritating because, of course, if you have bar soaps, you don't want it to be irritating. That's why it is advisable to use the Friscolat. It is low in smell. The mintiness smell, the odor is very low, and you can still apply your fragrances and have good impact in your olfactory evaluation. And it is stable at higher than 6.5 pH. The Friscolat X Cool, it is extra cool. That's why we call it X Cool. It has a stronger and long-lasting cooling effect. It is odorless and it is a liquid. The ink is methyl ethyl alumido oxalate. And finally, you have the Friscolat Plus, which also, like your Friscolat MGA Plus, has some L-menthol added to it. And it is cost efficient. It is strong in effect. It has a minty smell because of that. So once you find that the Friscolat you sniff or you handle has a minty effect, you can be assured that it has some quantity of L-menthol. Are we together? Thank you. So this chart just lets you on the pictorial view, lets you see that you have options for your Friscolats. There are 7 of them in the family. There are 3 of them that are solids, either a straight solid or a crystal, and then the rest are liquids. When you have, like I said earlier, the solids have the lower intensity, and then they are the ones that you can use in the lower pH from 3 up to about 6. And then you'd see that they last from about 10 to 20 minutes in terms of effect. The intensity is mild, and then the length of effect that you can experience them is just before 20 minutes. Whilst if you go for the liquid, which the decision is up to you, depending on your application and what you intend to achieve. If you go for the liquids, the Friscolat Plus, the Friscolat MGA Plus, the Friscolat MGA, and the Extra Cool, you have a more intense freshness, as well as a longer time for the efficiency. It's a more lasting, much more lasting effect. So whether you want a long or short-term efficacy, maybe it's just a facial cream and you just want it for a few minutes, or it's for something you want like a lotion, a night cream, and you want to feel refreshed, for a while before you sleep, the choice is yours. You have the options available. Now, which odor profile are you looking for? Do you want something that has no mintiness at all? You don't even want anybody to know it contains any mint. Those are your best bets. If you want something, you still want it to smell a bit minty, maybe your oral care, your mouthwash, your toothpaste, it's applicable in oral care, you can go for the Friscolat Plus or the Friscolat MGA Plus. And if you don't mind the mintiness at all, you want it in your face, oh, definitely, please be our friend and stay with the L-menthol, which is the menthol that we are familiar with. So if you're interested in something that does not smell minty, whilst you still want that freshness and that cooling effect, please go for the Friscolat range. Now let's go to the ID cards. I love my ID cards because the ID cards capture the essence. At a glance, you can see the parameters. Your inky is there. Thank you. So that's the Friscolat Extra Cool. You can see the inky there. Excuse me, can you go back? Thank you. You can see all the information. Please feel free to take a snapshot if you so desire. The inky there is the methyl ethyl amido oxalates. The product number is there. You can see that it is a clear, colorless to yellow-green liquid. It works in a range. The appearance is in a range. It is soluble in fatty esters, fatty acid esters, in alcohol and in glycols. The pH, like I said, is from 3 to 7. The recommended use is there. It is stable up to 70 to 100 degrees, even at boiling point during 5 hours. It is patented. It is halal. Freshness without menthol odor, nothing like that. It lasts at least 30 minutes. And you find that you can apply it in face care, oral care, or in color cosmetics. If you want to experience a unique freshness, cooling of body and mind, please go for the Friscolat X Plus, extra cool. Friscolat MGA, menthone glycerin acetal, similar in appearance to the X Cool. Solubility is also similar. You have the recommended dosage of use, and you have your pH stability between 6.5 to 12. Somebody was talking earlier about your supplier, the reputation of your supplier, the sourcing of your materials. I can tell you without a doubt, SYMRISE is a supplier you can go to sleep with if you buy from us. We have our certifications. We are reputable. We have our website working. If we tell you this is it, that is what you find. And at any point in time, you want your documents, your C of A's, your SDS, whatever documentation you want, we can support at any point in time. The Friscolat MGA is nature identical. It has 98% purity. It is ideal for alkaline formulations because of the pH range in which it works. It is China approved or compliant. And you have almost an icy feeling for like 25 minutes on the skin. Of note is the fact that with the use of Friscolat MGA, you have the reduction of the irritation of the hair or the scalp when applying color by 54%. So if you add the Friscolat MGA to your color formulation, you are assured, we've tested and we can confirm that you have a reduction in irritation of the scalp by 54%. The application is a wide range because of the pH stability, steroid-based dew stick, shaving foam, toothpaste, soap bar, depilatory, hair coloration, hair relaxer. I'm looking at somebody here. You noticed. Thank you. You're smart. Friscolat MGA Plus. It has a low minty scent because less fragrance is you need to use less fragrance. It is cost efficient. It's as fresh as L-menthol. The inky name is menthol glycerol acetate with the L-menthol. That is why it has that minty smell. It is patented. It is well known for freshness. It gives you a clean feel and a detoxification feel. It is stable for formulations in the alkaline level also, and it is China compliant, IECIC listed. We can go on and on. Like I said earlier, the next slide, that is the Friscolat ML and the Friscolat ML crystals. The first two members I introduced, the solid guys, they are family members. The only difference is that one is in crystalline form, whilst the other is just in a solid form. So they have the same ID card, similar characteristics. Their pH stability is between 4 to 7. They are soluble in oils and alcohol, 50% of the per volume, and in glycol. They are nature inspired, suitable, vegan, China compliant, halal. They are biodegradable within 28 days. That is important to somebody here. And they support deodorant activity. So if you're a sports person, you might be interested in this particular variant. And applications go from deodorant, face, body care, oral care, rinse off, and intimate hygiene. Very, very important. The Friscolat ML is the natural is the natural one. Very similar parameters. It's also biodegradable in 28 days, 100%, 98% purity, fully traceable, no GMOs. You have all the credentials there on the screen. Now let's go into the area the the president wanted me to talk about briefly. Is a sneak peek, like we said. The human biome, we know the human microbiome is the actual microorganisms on a specific site of the body. what I like to call the natural microflora. Now, we have different types of cleansing materials and antibacterials and things like that. And some of them just totally erode the microflora of the skin. That is unhealthy. We know that the microflora is made up of different types of organisms, your fungi, your viruses, your yeasts and all that, yeast and molds and all. But there's a need to make sure that whilst we are cleansing and taking care of the skin, we do not remove the members, the microorganisms that are supposed to create a barrier, protective barrier for the skin. Because when we broad spectrum product protection. So we cannot call it a preservative. It does not claim to be a preservative, but it supports and it enhances broad spectrum product protection whilst being an antioxidant and also delivering. We cannot call it an active, but we can say it supports the activity of that active. It helps it to perform better, and it also delivers moisturization. The Hydrolyte CG, it respects the skin microbiome and it also moisturizes. Hydrolyte 6 gives a mild solution for all skin types, even for the most delicate skin. So it is even recommended for facial care because it does not cause irritation of the eyes. It's as safe as that. Hydrolex E respects the skin microbiome and it gives deodorant benefits. So you have deodorancy enhanced. Can you just, I just give a few minutes for people to look through. I know I've talked about the SYMSAVE. Let's start from the SYMSAVE H, please. That's the first one. Thank you. So that's just it. It's hydroxyacetophenone. That's the SYMSAVE H. It's white to beige crystalline powder and it's very affordable. Indeed, we use it already in the market and it's a very successful product. So you'd see that it has antioxidant soothing properties. It is microbiome friendly. It helps to support broad spectrum product protection, and it's stable between a wide range, between 3 and 9 pH 3 and 9, and it's stable in applications accordingly. Please go to the next slide. Thank you. Hydrolyte 6, 1,2-hexanodiol. It delivers moisturization. It enhances product protection. Of course, it is microbiome friendly. It's a mild solution for all skin types, even for the most delicate. That's the one I say you can even use it for your facial care. It's global compliant, and the range is even wider than SYMSAVE H, pH 3 to 12. Let's skip to the next slide. We're just going through this and we're rounding up. Do we have the next slide, please? 5-grain, that's pentylene glycol, and we are the biggest suppliers of pentylene glycol, just for your information. It is 100% bio-based carbon. It is readily degradable, natural index 1, 99% purity. It delivers moisturization, enhances product protection, enhances the performance of actives, and it helps the hair combability. It improves it by 24%. Let's keep through. We're just going now to look at 1 or 2 formulations, and I'll ask my dear friend Vivian to pass some textures around. In case you want to give your scalp a refreshing, you want to give your scalp a drink, a cooling drink, that is a mojito. You go to the bar, you take a mojito, please give your scalp a mojito. So that's a formulation. We call it a virgin mojito pre-shampoo, and it has Friscolat Plus in it for the scalp. It will deliver a cooling effect to your scalp. It's, after a hot day in the sun in this environment, giving your hair a pre-shampoo with the mojito formulation would be a very well appreciated gesture for your hair care. So it contains Friscolat Plus, Hydrolyte 5-grain, and SYMSAVE H. The formulation is there. Please see me if you're interested in the formulations as well as the fragrance. The fragrances in those formulations are there, and you have the samples also available. The second one is the sparkling drops. You would have to ask me and get my address to be able to get samples of this one. That contains the Friscolat ML, as well as the Hydrolyte 5 green. Of course, some other SYMRISE ingredients there. Please note that we are strong in botanicals, and there's no extracts that you want that we cannot make available to you. So I hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek into our world of cooling systems and multifunctionals. Feel free to approach me for further inquiries, for documentations, and for information about SYMRISE and our products. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abolaji. And thank you, SYMRISE, for supporting us consistently over 3 years. Wonderful, wonderful company. And as somebody that is into R&D servicing as well, providing R&D servicing, I can attest to their raw material supply. So do we have questions? Yes. So we're taking one question, please. Brief. Thank you.
That was a nice presentation. Thank you. You're a sales lady indeed. That was nice. 2 questions. One, as a reputable supplier, I'm quoting. I'm yet to know. Okay. As a reputable supplier, do you advise, that is, do you provide services like consultation for SMEs that want to go into cosmetics and they are thinking, what do I do? What do I combine and things like that? Do you do consultation for such ones? That is to encourage establishment of SMEs. That's one. Secondly, do you customize? Can I, as a manufacturer, come telling you that this what I want, the quality? Can we go into discussing it so that you tell me the purity percentage of what I should use in order to get this quality of products? Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, we are a reputable supplier, both for the food and the cosmetic industry. Like I tell people, we do anything that needs to smell nice or anything that needs to taste nice. So yes, we do. We have an office here in Lagos, and our job here is to work with the markets. Anybody who is interested, you can feel free to walk up to me or my colleagues. Our doors are open. Let's talk about it. We can give advice. And that is why it's good to be in part of this kind of organization. It's all about knowledge sharing. If we don't build ourselves up, nobody will build us up. We're here for you. You want to produce something, we share formulations. We have formulations in our data bank. We don't hoard at all. We are very generous when it comes to that, you know. So feel free, approach us. This is what I have in mind. This is the concept I have in mind. If we don't have it in our office locally here, we'll speak with our team members in other regions, in other business development centers, and we can come up with something together. And talking about, what was it called? Customizing. Definitely, in life is customized. My life is different from yours. You know, you want yours green, I want my purple. There's always a way around it. There's always a way around it. And you'll be assured that whatever we recommend to you will be ethical. But there's always a way around it. Maybe it's going to be tinkering with the dosage or saying, no, take this out, put that in, use a local source. You don't have to, even if in the whole formulation, all you have is just 2 SYMRISE materials. We can tell you, no, because of the market, the cost might be too high for you. Take that out, use this instead. Oh, definitely we do. We win together. That's the whole idea. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll take one more question and that will be all. Dr. Runde.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation.
Dr. Runde is always after me.
Okay. This is physical. I
Nice
think
to see you this time around.
I'm
So
going to
glad
be a
to see
little
you.
bit milder. Just want to ask if you have any collaboration with academia in SYMRISE, or there is opening for that. Thank you.
Okay, yes, we do collaborate with academia, and that's something we can discuss. We can talk about that one-on-one. We're always interested in markets. We're into sustainability. So if you have anything in that direction, or you have some ideas you want to share with us, some papers you want to present to us, please, let's talk about it. There's always a way.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Because of our time, but yes, have Mr. Prince.
Thank you very much.
Please make it very
Very, very wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. Okay, I go straight to the point. Two questions. Number one, I was wondering when you said that the Frizolite GMA that has a way to reduce the irritation on the scalp when you have to do with the color. And I'm wondering what mechanism gives that. Then the second question is, all these, the sources of these Frizolite, Frizolite, are there any of them that are African, Nigerian? Thank you.
No, there's none of them that is Nigerian. They are all menthol derivatives. That is their source. They're all menthol derivatives. So there's none taken from any plants or tree in Nigeria. No. And in terms of the mechanism, I